NFTs have a unique feature that makes them different and totally new than any other thing that you can put your money into. And that's why, in my opinion, NFTs are a better investment than stocks. Let me explain. Now, no problem with stocks. They can produce some amazing returns. A good example might be with Apple. If you put $1,000 into Apple in 2011, right now in 2021, you'd be sitting with about $11,000. That's $1,000 a year since 2011. It's a good profit having only invested $1,000 back in 2011. Now, if you invested $1,000 into a stock named Tesla, have you heard about that one? Back in 2011, I'm laughing at my own joke. Back in 2011, you would probably be sitting on about $120,000 right now in 2021. That's a great return on investment. You put away that $1,000 back then and you got a good recovery. But let's take a detour for just a moment. And let's talk about if you had put money into NFTs not that long ago. What you're seeing on the screen today is a picture of one of the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs. Now, if you bought this Bored Ape back in April of 2021, all right, so we're talking about less than 9 months, for, let's say, $190, because that's what the floor price was back then, the bottom price was back then. Right now, the cheapest Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT, you know how much it's going for? $250,000. 9 months ago, you put in $190. You paid the gas fees, which probably were $100 or $50, something like that. And now you'll be sitting on $250,000. All right, that sounds like a pretty good return on investment. What you're seeing on the screen now are some of the crypto punks. They started in June of 2017 by two developers that were just tired of working for corporate interests. So they decided, hey, listen, we're going to create an algorithm that will produce 10,000 images and we're going to sell them as NFTs. And maybe we'll make some money off it. But in the beginning, it was hard to give away these 8-bit looking cartoon characters. So they gave them away for free. So if you had gotten for free a CryptoPunk back in 2017, at a minimum, because the cheapest CryptoPunk right now is $300,000. And as you know from having tuned in prior lives, especially the one we talked about, the most expensive NFTs, we've had a string of sales. I think there's about 4 different sales in the last year for CryptoPunks in excess of $6 million. All right. So that's part and parcel to my argument that stocks are not quite as good investment as NFTs as I see it. But let's dig a little bit deeper. One of the problems with stocks, as I see it, is that day traders rarely get ahead. I know there's lots of content on YouTube about how to be a day trader, and there's certainly good examples. Last year, we had the whole Reddit Wall Street Bets kind of controversy where there were people out there that were making lots of money day trading, lots of money. But I have to tell you, outside of the headlines, it's relatively rare. And the reason for that is, having had clients in this field, most of the large financial companies have so much money that they have these large computers. And these computers can buy and sell and use large sums of money way faster than any day trader could ever hoped to move. And as a result, really right now in the stock market, some people say it's a rigged game. Some people say it's like gambling. It's really difficult to make a profit, or a consistent profit being a day trader. And then the other thing that's going on with stocks right now is that the large companies have this money, they have these connections, they have what's called the informational advantage. You'll hear that if you're listening to podcasts with big hedge fund leaders. They talk about how valuable the informational advantage is. What the heck does that mean? Well, that just means that they're rich, and so they probably have other rich friends. And so they're able to get information back and forth from these rich friends ahead of time before us retail traders get that information and can maximize on that. Additionally, when you have a lot of money and when you have some power, you can actually contact the heads of companies, the directors, the president, secretary, whatever it is, and get information from them so that you have advanced information before you make your trades. And, this could border on insider trading, but it does happen. And then the other part too is that large companies have a whole bunch of money to be able to invest in research. So they spend lots and lots of money. Data mining is what they call it. And they are able to get informational advantages from this. What most of us have is $1,000 and a Robinhood account. And even if we were dogged and we spent 12 hours a day, crunching the numbers, doing the research, projecting, we're probably not going to get the same returns as, the large financial companies. So, I guess the other thing I was going to point out too, and I'll move it over here, is that stock has a disadvantage in that it has one type of value. In other words, you take $100 and you buy a stock, and there's one type of value, and that is, gee, I'm hoping that it goes up. That's it. You have a loss, you have a potential loss, and you have one value, which is, boy, I bought it for 100. I'm hoping in a year from now, I can sell it for 200. When we move into the NFT context, as we're going to see, and I'm going to teach you about this one feature that I think is, it just blows my mind how awesome it is. You'll see that there are way more different types of value offered by NFTs than stocks. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to turn it over to some comments. I want to say hi to some people today. We got Kim Leeming here. Thank you so much for joining us, Kim. I love doing our broadcast with you. You have such insightful questions. We also got Yaki here. Yaki says, I've been saying the same thing, tuned in even before it starts because I know you're about to drop some serious diamonds and be thankful and strength. I love that. Thank you, Yaki. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're going to go through the real reasons why NFTs will blow away stocks this year. And I didn't put it in the title, but crypto this year. I don't know if you're seeing right now. I got off the iPad. I was looking at the crypto prices, and they're going down. There's a whole bunch of reasons for it. But what's interesting is that NFTs aren't going down. And most NFTs are purchased with crypto. There is a real kind of mysterious secret reason for that. I'm going to talk about that too when we start talking about the advantages of NFTs. So thank you so much for joining us. We got John here. John's saying hi. Love these Saturday morning lives. Perfect way to learn more and get a ton of value. Well, thank you so much, John. I'm so happy here. And I just love preparing for these lives for you guys. We also got Kevin. I love Kevin. Greetings from Lakeland, Florida. That's his comment. Thanks so much. Good to see you, Kevin. We got Joe Friendly. This guy is super, super friendly. He says, hello, fellow P in the pod. Testify, brother. Educate these here normies. Yeah, I know. That's the one thing that I'm grappling with right now. I recently had lunch with someone, and we were, the logistics of the context of the conversation was about what are these NFT things? And I'm like, part of me is like, oh, you've got to learn about these things. They've been around for a long time, and they can really add value. So thank you so much for joining us, Joe Friendly. All right, let's get to it because I don't want to waste any more time. I want to talk about the major advantages of NFTs, okay, as an investment, and as just for having for fun. So I have a picture before you, and that is a picture of a baseball field. I can't wait for baseball season to begin here. I'm actually have a place now in Scottsdale, and I can't wait to go to some preseason games. But when you're investing in NFTs, you're investing on a more level playing field. That's why I got the picture here. And that's because institutional investment, in other words, large corporations investing in NFTs, it's happening, but it's not happening nearly as much as us, hobbyists who are or art collectors who are investing in NFTs. So that makes it really good for us because we have an advantage. We can grab some of that information that the large corporations haven't spent the time doing, and we can start finding undervalued NFTs and capitalize on those NFTs. What I think is important for you to understand, though, is that the time is now. If you are on the hedge about whether you should buy an NFT or whatever, just remember that there are cycles, and at some point in time, probably institutional investing will come to the NFT area. It's happening with respect to virtual land right now. It's pretty difficult for the standard everyday average person to invest in $12,000 in a piece of digital code that gives you land and Decentraland or the sandbox. But the time is now. So if you're on that, you're like, I don't know if I should do this. Don't overextend yourself, but look for some deals out there. Do some research behind the team. We talked about in a previous live, I'll link it right over there, actually over here, about the steps in analyzing an NFT investment, the 5 steps I gave you. I think it was last week. So you can look at that live and see that, but do some research, because you will be able to find some shimmering stars in the NFT market right now. And like I said before, there's this mysterious factor that I've found that I think really is going to catapult NFTs this year, despite the fact that it appears that crypto is going down for a while. All right. Now, this is another kind of meta reason why NFTs are a better investment than stocks. And I'm going to try to explain it very clearly, if at all possible. The bottom line is that I believe your money can grow faster in an NFT investment than it can in a typical stock. And the reason for that is that a lot of these NFT projects, I'm thinking about Decentraland right now, are formed, their business is formed with a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization. Now, there's only one state in America right now that recognizes this as an entity and allows you actually to create a DAO and then make it an LLC. Putting that aside for a moment, this decentralized organization, autonomous organization, basically has members based upon your ownership of tokens in this group. So it's a business entity, but it's different than a typical corporation where you have shareholders who own shares in the corporation. In other words, the right to benefit from future cash flow in a corporation. So a lot of these projects are DAOs. What does that mean? It means that they're not regulated like corporations are. They do not have the same compliance fees as corporations do. A lot of people are saying that they're not going to have the same tax burden as a corporation will, because they're not selling securities, which are regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission. They're selling tokens. Oftentimes, it's the money supply within this NFT project. And if it's a money supply, then it's not considered an equity, an interest in the business. I used the example, and I think it was last week's live, or maybe the weeks before, where, if you're thinking about it, trying to get your head around it, it's like if you had a friend who was going to start a casino. In the traditional model, he might form a corporation and say, listen, in exchange for ownership, or portion ownership of this business, you pay me $100,000. And now that entitles you to 1,000 shares, whatever it's going to be. All right, that would be something that would be regulated by the government. Well, if you switch it over to the NFT project style, that friend is going to be building a casino. And he says, instead of saying, I want you to buy shares in my corporation, can you just do me a favor and buy amounts of the chips that we're going to use gambling in the casino? So, if there's $1 million worth of chips that they're going to start out with, can you buy 100,000 of those and either hold them or use them somehow, so that can be your ownership, so to speak, in the business? It's not an equity. It's ownership of the money supply. And so as a result, it's something that wouldn't be regulated by the government. So what does that mean? So all that means is that if you think about it, if a corporation has a lot of compliance costs, tax burdens, and a DAO doesn't, that just means that if you invest in an NFT project that has a DAO, for example, your money is free to grow faster. In other words, they can invest more. The DAO, the NFT project, can invest more of their of the revenues into the project itself, make it better, market it more, get more people interested in it, and therefore boost the price of the underlying tokens. So hopefully that made sense. If you have questions about that, please leave them in the comments. And at this time, if you're kind of liking where we're going, kind of nerding out on the difference between NFTs and stocks, give me a like. That would be great. I'm trying to push this video out, trying to make it full of value so that people who are watching on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube can get some value from this. All right, let's move on to our next slide. And that is passive income from NFTs. If you're owning a stock, there aren't many ways that you can have passive income from that. We could go into it in detail, but I got to tell you, NFTs have so many different ways that you can earn money, actual value, just by owning it. So the first way I'm thinking of is the traditional way, like with the stock. You can just hold your NFT, right? If it's well researched, it looks like it's going to be popular. You found a thriving community that surrounds this NFT. Then just by holding it, a good example would be when we talked about the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Someone just thought that was a cool picture of an ape, spent $200 on it, and now it's $250,000. Didn't do anything. So that's one way to make money through an NFT. The other thing that's happening right now through companies like OpenSea and Just Liquidity is that you can lend the NFT or the value of the NFT to other people and then collect interest from that. So you're just holding the NFT, you're lending the value of it or the NFT itself, and then you get interest from that. Another way you can do it is with the NFT Fi, and I can put links in the description or you can find it. It's NFT Fi. You can actually secure a loan with your NFT. So in exchange for you collateralizing your NFT, they will give you a sum of money and you can use that money to get other investments, to buy other NFTs or do whatever you want with it. And then when it's time to pay that loan back, you pay that loan back. And of course, get your NFT back. So you can get a loan on your NFT. And then another thing, which is super exciting to me, and this really applies when you have the higher value NFTs, let's say you had a people, is you can fractionalize your ownership of the NFT. It's not very popular, right? It's becoming now, the technology is coming out now. But the bottom line of this is say you had a NFT that was valuable. You could separate this NFT into 10 distinct different interests, okay? You could keep 5 of those interests so that you have the kind of controlling share of your NFT. And then what you could do is you could sell the portional interest, the other 5, out there in the market. And of course, it's not going to fetch as much money as the original NFT, but it's going to probably build up some money in it. And then what's so great about when you sell those interests is that you will retain a commission for the length of the sales. So you sell those 5 fractionalized interests and you make an initial amount of money from selling it. And then those people sell it and then they sell it to other people. And as each single time that there is a sale, a changing of hands of that NFT, you are making an automatic commission that is not like, okay, I get a check in the mail a month later. No, that is literally automatic because it's all part of a smart contract system. It goes straight to your wallet anytime it changes hands. So that fractionalized ownership is something that I'm really excited about. And then there's another way to make money just by holding an NFT, and that is renting it out. Believe it or not, NFTs, we're going to talk about this in a little bit later, but have this status component. You know, stocks, you know, I mean, you might be able to, to bring out your Robinhood, you know, investment report and be able to show people, hey, I own 1,000 shares in Tesla. I'm cool. And try to get some status out of it. But NFTs are even cooler because they're more public. They're more transparent. People can see if you own it or not, and you can show people that you own it. So there's people out there who wouldn't mind owning the NBA Top Shot of LeBron James, that famous one that's selling for, I don't know, $500,000 right now, being able to say, hey, listen, represent, this is mine. And so they'll pay you rent. You haven't transferred ownership, but you're getting rent from someone else to use your NFT. And then the other exciting part I want to talk about as far as passive income for NFTs is the ability of pooling. You know, I kind of give you examples of lending, securing a loan where it's individualized. It's just, let's just say it's me doing it. But really, in actuality, you're going to be able to do so much more. And that is because you're going to be able to pool your resources. So if you would like to lend out your NFT, you probably won't do it individually. You'll do it in a pool of people who are all doing it and deriving interest from it. And maybe your agreement is that you share in those interests equally. So maybe if your interest is 8% and someone else is 12%, you split it in the middle. So you're both making 10%. Maybe you want to secure a large loan with 100,000 other people. So you collateralize your NFT with everyone else, and you come up with a large sum of money, and then you behave like those large corporations do. And you can take your $10 million and make investments. And even if you have a 0.01% increase on $10 million, that's a good payday for a day's worth of work. So the pooling is another aspect of NFTs that make it, you know, super attractive, and I think more attractive than stocks. The other part is, I touched on this before, is that with NFTs, there's the chance that there are no or low taxes. I'm going to be coming out with a video, probably with Chris Passmore. We're going to talk specifically about NFTs and capital gains. But I did do one this last week, and you can watch it right there. It's all about crypto and taxes and what you're required to pay if you have gains in crypto. And watch that video. Chris does an excellent job of just trying to be super clear and break it down so that you have crypto gains. You had them in 2021. you're probably going to have to pay some money, but there are certain strategies in there where you can reduce that burden that we talk about in that video. But when it comes to NFTs in general, there is no clear consensus about what you owe in taxes. And then the other part too is that I've had a lot of people in the comments say, Ian, I'm not paying any taxes. Guess what? Because I'm not taking it out. And that's another way not to pay taxes. I think about it. You're making money from lending out your NFT. You're taking in interest. Well, what if you don't do anything with that money? Or what if you do something with that money 10 years, 20 years down the road when your tax burden is lower, or you just continue to use that as a kind of a sum of money out there in the metaverse. So there's the real big chance that you would not have to pay any taxes if you invested in an NFT and made some money, whereas it pretty much isn't when it comes to stock. I mean, obviously you could hold the stock forever and pass it down from generation to generation, but a lot of you just want to, have the increase like with Tesla and get out. And when you get out, you're going to have to pay capital gains taxes. So NFTs, I think, blow away stocks when it comes to tax issues too. And then I want to talk about a bonus point today about NFTs. And this one is I alluded to it before. All right, so I'll be as brief as possible. Coinbase, of course, is a gateway for fiat to crypto, right? So if you want to get involved at all in crypto, you want to buy some Bitcoin or some Ethereum, a lot of people will get an account at Coinbase and they'll take their $1,000 and they'll basically transmute it into the cryptocurrency. And you get the cryptocurrency, it sits on your Coinbase account. On a gateway, it's not usually that safe. So what you do is you take that cryptocurrency and you put it into a crypto wallet. You hold it, you use it for NFTs, whatever. All right. So Coinbase now is going to expand their service offering. They're going to have an NFT marketplace to compete with OpenSea and Rarible and Super Rare and Foundation and all the different, exciting platforms for NFTs. So that's great. A lot of people love that because it's going to bridge the concept of getting the crypto with the NFT to make it much easier. Right now, there's a waiting list. There's, I guess, 2.7 million people on the waiting list to participate in this market. Well, the big announcement this last week, and let me hear you, this is huge. It kind of escaped. It was like a little newspaper article, and I read it and I was like, okay. They tried to sell it like, oh, this is just an additional feature of Coinbase. And I was like, no. You've got to see what these people are doing. Coinbase, I think, has seen that crypto may not do that well this year. It certainly is going down now. And they've also seen the popularity of NFTs, specifically, profile picture NFTs, the ones you see in profiles on Twitter, profiles and all that stuff, really blowing up. And people really competing to get those Metaverse Adidas shoes, for example. And so what they're saying now is that when the NFT marketplace is open for Coinbase, they're going to accept Bitcoin, Ethereum, some other altcoins, and more importantly, credit cards. So now people will be able to buy NFTs using credit cards. Why is that important? One, that reduces so much friction in the NFT buying process. I don't know if you saw my video. I can link it up there. It's all about soup to nuts between, having US dollars or fiat currency and converting it all the way to getting an NFT and holding that NFT in what's called cold storage. But I got to tell you, the video was 22 minutes long and I cut the heck out of it because, again, I was trying to be as clear as possible. But the long and short is there's a lot of friction, right? It's much easier these days, maybe in the future or not, but these days to buy your stuff with a credit card. Put in your credit card number, swipe your credit card, however you want to do it. And now you are the proud owner of an NFT. So what this signal, Coinbase said, listen, we want to reduce friction. That's why we're doing it. But what this signals to me actually is they think that NFTs will do better than not only stocks, but also crypto this year. So that is another reason why you may think about investing in NFTs this year, because the popularity appears to be only increasing. And what's so nice about NFTs is that status factor. And we can talk about that a little bit more. But that's the little bonus point that I wanted to bring up about the value of NFTs, especially in 2022. All right, so now, I tried to make this, I used my Canva slides here. The totally unique feature of NFTs is, and I was envisioning when I was creating this script, I was like, a drum roll right now, but the distinguishable factor that I alluded to at the beginning of our talk today is something that blows away stocks. It really does. There's just no competing with it as an investment vehicle, and that is the utility of NFTs. And you hear that all the time. I made a video, I can put a link here, about utility tokens, utility NFTs. I'm a huge fan because I see so much potential with them. But the long and short of what this code word utility means is that you can use NFTs for so many different things, whether or not it's you owning the NFT or if you have your own NFT project. And I displayed some of these here. It's kind of hard to see, but the first picture you'll see right there is Rolex. And why did I put a picture of a Rolex on this, video about NFTs are better than stocks? Well, I did this because Rolex to me is status, right? I don't have one. I don't think I'll ever have one. But for what I understand, Rolex watches are they keep really good time. They're really good. But like you can get a watch that costs like $100 that keeps just as good a time as Rolex. But the reason you buy a 10, a 20, a 30, I don't even know how much they are, Rolex, 1,000 Rolex, is because you want to look cool. You walk down the street, you got a Rolex, that means something about you. Well, NFTs have that same component. And whether or not you're a person that buys into status or not, I'm kind of partial. I think there are times when I wear certain clothes and things because I want to be thought of as cool. But for the, I drive a Honda, so it's kind of like, I have both feet in the door. But the point of it is that when you have one of these NFTs that are out there, you'll see them, and you're going to start seeing them more because of this one thing I want to tell you about. But people respond and go, "Oh my God, this guy's a baller! He's got an original CryptoPunk, a rare CryptoPunk NFT, or oh my God, he's one of the Bored Ape guys. Oh, I like to see that." That means that you're cool. All right, so. Stock doesn't have that same thing. We talked about it a little bit. You're not walking around saying, I have 1,000 shares of Tesla. I was one of the original shareholders in Amazon. You can brag about it all you want, but it's really hard to get it out there. Not with NFTs. Not only can you put it in your social media, now Instagram has a new function where it's going to allow you to display your NFTs on your, I don't know if it's going to be on your timeline or maybe on your bio, but they're going to try to give you that ability to show off. I'm sure it's going to be with TikTok very soon. And right now on Twitter, the feature is active. You can convert your avatar, your icon, your image for your profile to an NFT that you own. And I actually did this. You go to my Twitter page, it's at Ian Corzine, tweet at me. That would be happy to show it to you. You will see that I have an octagon-shaped profile pic, and in there is one of my favorite, it's called Catboy, one of my favorite NFTs by an artist, and I always her name is Ange, but Anju Mage, she was she's an artist that makes beautiful NFTs that I bought recently, and I just love it. So anyway, the point of it is now I'm flexing with my NFT on Twitter. So with NFTs, you have that added component, and that component is not just good for yourself. Let's say you're not a flexer. It's good for rental. It's good for loaning out. There's people out there that would love to represent that they own a certain NFT. And if you have it, you can rent it out and they'll pay you. I don't know what the going rent is. I'm gonna have to figure that out. But $100 a month to have a Catboy NFT as your Twitter profile pic. I don't know. So that's one thing that of the utility that's amazing with NFTs. And then, of course, I have a picture here of like a concert. And what you're seeing people doing right now, the largest influencers, and I'm going to be doing it too, is they are selling tokens as opposed to other access points. So in the old days, you had an online course. Maybe Kim's out there with an online course or something. And, you marketed on Facebook, and then they clicked and they went to a landing page. They put in their email information, and then you sell them on joining you on this course. Well, in the future, and actually right now, there are people doing it. Gary Vee, Impact Theory, Tom Bilyeu of Impact Theory is doing it. You will be selling an NFT, and you will be saying, listen, for $500, you buy this NFT. You hold it independently. Hopefully, I'm going to be more successful so that an NFT is going to gain in value. So if you don't find that you like my online course, you could sell this later on, maybe next year for $600, whatever it is. And this token, by virtue of having this token, you will be eligible for the benefits of this NFT project. So it could be going to the online course. It could be if you're a music artist. People with this NFT, they all get pre-access to buying tickets for our concert. It used to be, I'm a Pearl Jam, fan member. When you pay $10 a year with Pearl Jam's fan club, you're able to get advance notice of ticket sales. And so you can more likely go to the shows than other people. Well, it's going to be the same thing with tokens. They're just going to own a token, and those people are going to have that access. If you have that Pearl Jam token, then you can buy tickets earlier, maybe for cheaper or whatever. So there is no end to this access part of NFTs. I see in the future in real life participation in events. I mean, if you look at Gary Vaynerchuk's V Friends, there's a whole bunch of, I want to say it's 10,000 images. And then a certain portion of the images gain you access to Gary V. So there's one level of NFT where you can participate in a group online with Gary V. In other words, he'll maybe do maybe a course for you or a lecture. And then there's another where you're one-on-one with Gary V online. So you do a Zoom call with this unbelievable entrepreneur and pick his brain for his thoughts. And then there's another level, and I think there's 10 or maybe 20 where it's in real life with Gary V. So if you own this NFT, you get the opportunity to go to New York City and have lunch with Gary Vaynerchuk. I mean, what more could you do to bring value to your NFTs and to increase them over time? My understanding is the NFTs, the VFriends, went on sale last summer for about 2.5 Ethereum. And now last check was last week, but I think the floor price, the lowest price you can get a VFriend is 6 Ethereum. So $18,000, $20,000, depending upon the price of Ethereum right now. You can do that too. And you don't have to be Gary Vaynerchuk. You can have your NFT issued, and maybe you're not talking 10,000 images. Maybe because of your group, you're talking 100 or you're talking 50 NFTs you can produce. And 5 of them allow you to go out to lunch in your particular community in New Jersey or Florida or whatever it is. There's so many different uses for NFTs to bring value, and also to give value to your people who own. I mean, the more and more features you give them, the more and more chance they can make money trading on your NFTs. Gary Vaynerchuk also just recently, I think he's part owner in an NFT project called Flyfish, I believe it is. And there's one restaurant in New York City right now. You own the NFT and you have access to the restaurant. No one else does. You can bring a guest, you can schedule ahead of time, and this restaurant is supposedly super fancy. But they're just selling access to the restaurant. No one else can walk into the door other than if you own this Flyfish NFT. Think about that for yourself. What if you had a small club? What if you're able to get a small little space in your town and then let people, no one can go unless they own your NFT. And maybe you do some fantastic things at this little club. Maybe it's a bar or a restaurant or whatever, and people start to hear about it and they go, I really want to go to this thing. Well, that's going to motivate them. The scarcity component of NFT is going to motivate them. It's like, yeah, this club only has 50 NFT members. You can only go to this club if you're one of these members. And so someone's like, well, I really want to go. And if they have the money, they might convince someone of those 50 NFT owners to sell them their NFT. And then they can go to this club or this restaurant and in turn boost up the value of all the other NFTs. So it's really never ending. The other part of this picture I want to show is the airdrop potential. A lot of these NFT projects not only have these access features, but also they have these things like, we're going to keep on giving. When you buy this NFT, you're going to have the potential to be whitelisted on another of our NFT projects. What does that mean? That means early access to another NFT project. Presumably, you can buy NFTs for cheaper and maybe not have to deal with what they call gas wars, which is that there's so many people competing for NFTs that the gas fees start going straight up. Or just other features, a newsletter, ongoing access to courses, whatever it is, you can have these kind of continual points of value go down to the NFT owners. And then the other part, which is just, I think the best part of NFT creation and ownership, is community. I think when we move into this blockchain, this non-fungible token area, the watchword is community. It is much easier and much better to form an NFT project than a traditional group, Facebook group, something like that, membership on a social media site. And that's just because you can give so many different things to this community. In other words, if you're an NFT, if you're let's say VFriends, if you're a VFriends owner, not only do you get all these access points, but you also get exclusive access to the VFriends Discord server, certain channels. You may get your Twitter question answered quicker by Gary V. And then more importantly, and we are seeing this in Europe right now, mostly, there's the website called So Rare, and they manage a lot of soccer, football projects, or I'm sorry, I shouldn't say projects, football teams in Europe. So Manchester City, Barcelona, a lot of different of these soccer teams have their own NFT projects, and they're super smart about it. What they do is fans can buy an NFT. Sometimes it's a favorite player. Sometimes it's just a static NFT. And that entitles them not only to advance tickets and a newsletter and to a forum and all those different things, but that allows them to vote on team decisions. And so far, it's not been, what's the next play we should run? But it's been like, who should be the player of the year? What was the play of the game? Who did the most for charity in this year? All these different types of parts that could actually control the future of your favorite team. This is only going to happen more with professional teams. Tom Brady, of course, owns Autograph.io. He just got another investment of $170 million into his company because he's killing it with digital collectibles. If Tom Brady, the GOAT, the best quarterback of all time, is doing this and investing lots of money into it, the NFL teams themselves will. And at some point in time, and I say a year or two, if you're a huge Chargers fan like I am, you're going to be able to vote on the player of the year for the Chargers by owning a Chargers NFT. So the community aspect is absolutely, I think, the biggest feature about NFTs. And as you can probably figure out by now, blows away stock. I mean, yeah, I guess if you're a shareholder, you can attend a shareholders meeting, but do you think that you have much control? Unless you're a multi-billionaire and own a lot of shares in a company, most of us just don't have that much control. With NFTs right now, if you own a $500 NFT under the So Rare network, you can make team decisions for your favorite football team or soccer team. So yeah, again, blows away stocks. Now, I wanted to just shift gears for a moment and talk about the fact that I'm certainly talking about all these advantages of NFTs, but I do want you to know that there are risks, okay? I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm just telling you how excited I am about NFTs, and maybe you should be too. Maybe you should look into them. Maybe you should do research like I've taught you in some of these lives and my videos in the past few months. There's the potential that NFTs could have a huge value drop. I think that if you have any sophistication in the NFT world, you know that there's a handful of projects between 10 and 20 that just absolutely dominate the rest. Now they change and other projects make their way up. So I want to make sure you're aware of that. But there's a handful of projects that are making the big bucks. Okay, so don't think that your cousin just issued 100 NFTs and everything is going to go up. That's not the case. There could be huge value drops. With crypto going down, it could be that the value of NFTs go down. I will say this: I hate to defend against my own arguments, but even if they do go down, if you're buying the right NFTs, the benefits blow it away. I mean, if you have a VFriends NFT and you bought it for 4 Ethereum, and now Ethereum is going down in value, and maybe the other NFTs are selling for 3 or something. First of all, you're still ahead of the game monetarily. Second of all, you have access to Gary Vaynerchuk's next 3 VCon conferences. So apart from losing monetary value, you still have the features there. So it's kind of like, is it a loss or is it not? With stock, it's just dollars and cents. Oh man, I bought this stock in Johnson & Johnson and it went down in price. Okay, that's it. It's either down or it's up. But of course, you have to remember with NFTs, there's no underlying intrinsic value, where with stocks, you could argue there is. I mean, honestly, if you're having a very small portion of stock in a large company, you probably don't have that much intrinsic value, but you could arguably say you have a share of future cash flow in that company. So there is some value. And then the other kind of risk on NFTs, which is not present in stocks, is liquidity. And what that means is that you can get in and get out faster with stocks than you can with NFTs generally. there's not always a willing buyer for your NFT, where oftentimes there's always a willing buyer with, publicly traded stocks, popular stocks. You can always just unload them. So if you start seeing Tesla going down substantially, you can just get out. Whereas NFTs, you're kind of locked unless you have a very popular NFT, and you've kind of got to go down with the ship. But again, if you're doing good research, you're only buying NFTs that provide you with all these different utility benefits we talked about. You shouldn't have a problem, because you were like, yeah, I lost some money on this NFT, but I still have access to their private Discord server. I still can go to their private restaurant. I still can get the updates about da, 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 da. So a lot of times you really need to equate, or you need to compare all the features of the NFT, including the monetary value, against all the features of stock, which generally are, hope it goes up in price. So in my opinion, guys, I think that NFTs are a better investment right now in 2022 than stocks. And I think that it's something you guys should consider. Again, there are some risks in investing in NFTs. I am not a financial advisor. This is not a financial advice video. This is just Ian being excited about this potential for NFTs. And I see a lot of creators out there, like a lot of you guys are, and a lot of influencers out there, like a lot of you guys are. And I'm saying, okay, with creators and influencers, there's a lot of potential to start your own NFT project. And it's funny, people are coming out of the woodwork, giving me calls saying, okay, I saw this video about NFTs. What are they? I saw, a famous influencer called me yesterday, and he's like, you know what? I really want to start this access project for NFTs. How do I do it? So the interest is there. And what that means is that there's going to be more and more interest and popularity in NFTs. And if you get in early, start your NFT project. If you start your digital art, if you start issuing your music only in the NFT format, where there is a original mix and there are stems that you issue, and then there's other benefits like going to the concert or going to an online concert, maybe on virtual land, then I think you're going to start getting sales of those NFTs, and they're going to increase in value. All right, now I just want to just say hi a little bit more to some people that joined us. Thank you so much for your time today, guys. Little Schmitty is here, humble and here for knowledge. I'm humble and happy to give you anything I can. If you ever need to contact me, always feel free to go to iancorzine.com. That's iancorzine.com. If you want some templates for some of your business transactions, or maybe you're doing some videos, maybe you're doing NFT videos, I have a template section that you can go there and you can buy a template and use it for your business. Additionally, if you ever want to work with me personally, just go up to the top part of the webpage and book a consult. You just click book a consult, and I can be there to give you some individual advice. People have been coming to me about initial documents for formation of an NFT project. They've been coming to me about an NFT digital art review. A lot of people are getting success doing digital art NFTs with famous trademarks or copyright stuff in the actual NFT themselves. A good example might be a parrot who's wearing a Gucci bag. And the question the creator has for me is that a violation of trademark copyright law? And so we go through the consult, and I tell them where the violations are, what they need to take in, what they need to take out. If you have that need, book a consult with me. It's well worth it. And then we got Jockey. Is it Jockey? Oh, Jackie. Jackie Bye. Good to see you, Jackie. Joe Fenley's here. And Infinity, the healing butterfly. She's here. I'm an artist and really feel I need to understand NFTs, how to get into it. I feel like I need a consultant. What should I look for in a person? Well, the best thing you can do is reach out on Twitter or Discord. Join the NFT community Discord server. It's free to join. It's basically a community of artists. And you can just reach out and say, listen, I need advice. How do I start this? How do I program smart contracts? Go to these places. Twitter's another place. Find your favorite NFT artists, follow them, and ask questions. Always feel free to follow me on Twitter at Ian Corzine. And then additionally, always feel free to join my Discord server. It's the Ian Corzine Discord server. And there I have a particular channel where I allow people to ask legal questions about NFTs, the metaverse, those kinds of things, and I answer them there. Additionally, we have I think we have 1,000 members, and a lot of them are collectors and artists, so you can get answers to your questions with the Ian Corzine Discord server. So feel free to do that. I can leave a link to that in the description too, as well as my Twitter. And then is Lady Dre is here. New to NFTs, excited to learn. Well, I'm excited to teach. Just don't forget, guys, that if you have questions about NFTs, I made a lot of videos about them, about how to mint music NFTs, how to mint. One of my videos, I minted my own NFT. It's the Hello NFT. It's a digital art NFT. So go to my channel, Ian Corzine on YouTube, and you can find the lives and also the actual produced videos that go through from soup to nuts, basically all about NFTs, the metaverse, how you can bring your content to the metaverse. And I'm including VR and AR and all those things. So feel free to go to my channel for that. And then Kim, I want to congratulate Kim. She bought her first NFT yesterday. If you get a chance, let us know in the comments which NFT that was. Oh my gosh, JBP. Hi, Ian. All from the United States of India. I'm so glad that you're here. Thanks for joining us all the way from India. I want to visit your country. It looks awesome. And then we got William. William Craig's here. Good morning, everyone. Let's see what else we got. We got Ken is this. You are a great streamer. Keep up the great content. Thank you so much. And guys, by the way, if you get a chance, give me a thumbs up. I want to make sure this video is pushed out to other people who are just learning about NFTs. I'm really excited about that. Crazy Tech. I'm converting Crazy Tech right now. He's actually, I think he said last time that he's a 73-year-old and he does awesome YouTube videos. But he's yet to jump into this cryptoverse, this NFT verse. Let's all jump on Crazy Tech and say, I don't care if you're 73 or if you're 89, NFTs are here to stay and you've got to figure out a way to work them in your business. And I think it'll be successful. Of course, we got Mantis Lou. He sent me an email the other day. I was happy to respond to that. For a career transitioning individual, how do I get involved as a startup? So Matt, it depends on what you want to do, obviously. I'm a big proponent of independent contractor work. So I don't know if you're going to be doing digital art or if you're going to be doing graphic design or if you're going to want to be involved in the minting process. There is a huge, and I say this again, huge demand for companies, independent contractors who do the node, I think it's called node registration on the blockchain for projects. What is it? 50% of my questions are, I want to have my own utility in NFT. I'm a music artist and I want to have people be able to have advance notice of my concerts and blah, 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 blah. How do I do it? I got all this art. I don't worry about digital design. I got that. I just want to be able to take that art and then have it appear on OpenSea for purchase. And so most of my responses are kind of a patchwork because right now what I've talked to the top NFT artists and a lot of them are using people from around the world. They're just going to Upwork, going to Fiverr. They're going to those independent contractor websites and finding an NFT consultant. That's the key word. NFT consultant, NFT developer. And that these people can do a number of things. One is you can create what you can do is you can do another amounts of pieces of art, of digital art or music, and then you tell them, and then they can use an algorithm to make 10,000 images or to make all this music with all these different mixes. And then the other part is that they can create this registration of the node and put your stuff on OpenSea or any of the exchange platforms you want. So that's what I've seen is the best route right now. When I get more resources on the companies that are really good for creators, because they're not a lot right now, I will provide it to you. And that brings me to my newsletter and my email list. Please, if you haven't already, go into the description section, click on the link and join my email list. What I do is I know you guys don't have much time. I know you have other interests besides NFTs. And so I try to streamline my updates for you via email with just the most important things you need to know for that week. They're having a virtual land sale at the Sandbox. It's only open on this date. You might consider it. There's this new NFT project that is getting a lot of buzz. The Twitter community is 50,000 strong. The Discord server is 100,000 strong. It looks like a good investment. Look into it. Those kinds of things so that you can look at it and say this is BS or not. Be able to get a link and go somewhere. So join my email list and you can have benefit of that. Matthew is saying affiliate marketing. I think he's clarifying what he wants to do. I think the best thing with affiliate marketing is the audience. I don't care where you get it. There's plenty of decentralized platforms right now that are doing really well. I'm thinking of Zion. I'm thinking of the one I just joined. Why am I blanking on it right now? What is it called? I forgot it. But anyway, there's other, obviously there's Odyssey. There's lots of decentralized platforms that you can build your audience on, which I would advise because you have better ownership of the audience. You have better control over the audience. Podcasting, obviously videos on YouTube, build the audience, and then affiliate marketing becomes easy. Brands come to you. a lot of my emails every day are brands coming to me saying, I want you to publicize our NFT project. So I don't do any outside marketing for influencing, but they just come because you're your audience. So build the audience, then you may decide what to do. All right, just want to say a couple of things before I jet out of here because I got a jet. We got Wayne Last. I still do not see any substantial utility NFTs. Please provide some examples. Simple digital art images are not useful to me. Well, Wayne, I love your direct comment. The hardcore examples I've talked about in my prior, I've done deep dives in the videos, so you can check those out there. But the ones I'm thinking of are VFriends. It's a perfect example of that. You get both the digital art plus the access to Gary Vaynerchuk, and then impact theory. Type in impact theory when you go to OpenSea, or you can go to the Impact Theory NFT website. That's run by Tom Bilyeu, one of my favorite luminaries in the marketing NFT space right now. He's created his own utility NFT, which I'm considering getting. I really would like to join it. And what's nice about that one is that's an example of an NFT, a utility NFT that doesn't rely on the digital art component. Gary Vaynerchuk's is, his drawings, that's the art. Empathy pig, whatever it is. But with impact theory, it's literally just a kind of a cool graphic, and the different levels of ownership are symbolized by the color of this cool graphic. So they didn't spend a lot of time on the art part. They just really wanted to give you the features and the value of the NFT itself. So do an in-depth analysis. Here's how you create your own NFT utility project. Go to the website that has the one that you want to model it after. Look at the roadmap, look at the white paper if there is one, and then model your project after them. That's as simple as it is. And what's so good about that is once you kind of figure out the underlying purpose, the features, what you're going to do in the future, you can go to an NFT developer, like I said, going to one of those websites, and then present that to them and say, do this, and then get a price and have it done. So that's Wayne. I appreciate the comment. I'm the same as you, not super into the digital art part. I could be into the music part. I like that part. But I'm really into the utility part. All right. Living in Charleston are blowing up. So much utility in the Cardano Crocs Club. I got to check that out. I really got to check that one out. All right. Last couple comments. I thought all income is taxable if you rent out your NFTs. Isn't that like dividends or interest? Well, it is. And I think that you would have to report it. And I'm not a CPA. I defer my questions to Chris Passmore, who joined me this week. If you want to watch that video, just look at the last video I published. It's all about taxes and crypto, metaverse, and that stuff. But I think that if you're keeping it in the system, one of the things that, you can't use stock to buy a cup of coffee, whereas you can use crypto and sometimes NFTs to get some value in the real world. So I think it's different than stock, where you got to convert it into, fiat currency in order to utilize it. So it's a definite taxable event versus, renting your NFT out for Solana and then getting those back and then using that Solana for something else. Could be wrong, but that doesn't appear as a taxable event at that point. But I could be wrong. We're going to do a video on it, so it should be easier. Yeah, thanks, Wayne. I appreciate that. Force Ghost, he's just popping in. Just want to give a shout out to Force Ghost Jeremy. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. And good. All right. So, guys, I just kind of want to summarize today about NFTs versus stock. I think NFTs are a better investment right now than stocks are. And the benefits I've gone through today's video, please, review it if you want to see. Bottom line is status for NFTs is huge. People buy it for status. Secondary is access. You can buy NFTs and be able to get access to different features, and you can provide those features to your public. There's a taxable component. There may not be as much tax or no tax on your NFTs. So all that combined with the fact that, the stock market is really difficult for us retail traders to do value in. That combined with all the benefits of NFTs lead me to the conclusion that, NFTs right now are definitely got to be a way better investment in stocks. For more on this, guys, continue to subscribe, like this video, and follow my channel. We're going to be continuing to do this type of content. We're going to try to make it as accessible, as relatable as possible so that I can kind of pull you guys in. I think it's a huge opportunity that I really want to give you. There's not in it a lot for me otherwise. I mean, I'm excited about this, and I want to be able to have you utilize these tools so that you can really benefit and be successful in this difficult time. All right. So thanks for joining me. We will see each other. I'm debating about when the next stream is going to be. I'm actually going to be on an airplane next Saturday. So it may be on Friday, maybe on Sunday. If you have any input on when you'd like to see the stream, let me know. A different time, whatever. But we'll see each other next week sometime. All right. Thanks.